So student, today I am going to teach you about the nucleic acids. Okay, so if we discuss about the nucleic acid, the two things come in our mind. It's about DNA and RNA. Okay, so they are the nucleic acid. DNA means deoxyribose nucleic acid, and RNA means ribose nucleic acid. Clear? They both of are made up of pentose sugar, nitrogenous bases, and the third one is phosphoric group. Okay, so we will discuss about all these three part of the nucleic acids one by one, because we know nucleic acids are the polymers of nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. They both are the genetic material which are transmitted the inheritance from one generation to next generation. This thing is very clear for us. So here we will read the composition of nucleotides. Okay, because DNA is a polymer of nucleic acid and RNA is also a polymer of nucleic acid. Okay, so for this we have to understand two things. One is nucleotides and one is nucleosides, because they are generally made up of nucleotides and nucleosides. If we see on your screen, this is the structure of DNA. In DNA you can see adenine, thymine, guanine and cytosine is written. Okay, so they all four are nitrogenous bases. If I am going to categorize nitrogenous bases, that time I can easily understand that adenine and guanine, okay, means they are known as purines. Adenine and guanine, they both are purines. And if we discuss about pyrimidine, second one group is of nitrogenous bases. They are nitrogenous bases. Second group is pyrimidines. And the examples are cytosine, thymine and uracil. Okay, but if we especially discuss about DNA, in DNA cytosine and thymine are present, but in case of RNA, in place of thymine, uracil present. Okay, so it's about the nitrogenous bases. Purines are, if you see the structure of purines are generally dicyclic in structure. And about pyrimidine, they are monocyclic in structure. If I'll show you the structure, that time you can easily understand that they are made up of double cycle. If I am going to tell you about, they are nitrogenous bases, because you can see nitrogen is present in it. They are nitrogenous bases and they are dicyclic. You can see on your screen also. About pyrimidine, they are monocyclic. Okay, so it's about the purine and pyrimidine. One more important thing about the purines, that you can see here 4 nitrogen groups are present. It is clearly visible on your screen that four nitrogenous group are present. In case of adenine, they are of 4. In case of guanine, they are of 4. Okay, and in case of pyrimidine, only 2 nitrogen groups are present. You can see on your screen 2 nitrogen groups are present. So it's proof that as first thing, purines are having dicyclic molecules, and in case of pyrimidine, monocyclic molecule are present. Okay, and they are having 4 nitrogen atoms, and in case of pyrimidine, 2 nitrogen atoms are present. Okay, if we discuss about the how they are attached with pentose sugar, for this we have to first understand the structure of pentose sugar. Okay, I hope nitrogenous bases are clear. Now it's about the pentose sugar. And as you can see on your screen, in case of RNA, ribose sugar is present. In case of DNA, deoxyribose sugar is present. So in case of ribose sugar, you can see it is of pentose sugar 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 carbons are present. Clear? This is known as the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, and it's of fifth carbon atom. Okay, in case of deoxyribose also same pattern is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons are there. Okay, and it is of pentose sugar, and this ring is known as the furanose ring. Okay, so here you can see that how many OH group are present in case of ribose. 1. How many OH? 1, 2, 3 or 4. 4 OH are present. In that case, 2 functional hydroxyl groups are present, and they are these two. They are two functional OH groups are present. Okay, in case of DNA, you can see in second carbon atom OH group is not present. So it proves that how much functional group, if any compound is having, it proves that much reactive it is, that much unstable it is. Okay, so because of it only DNA is having only one OH functional OH group. So that's why DNA is more stable as comparative to RNA. DNA is more stable because DNA is having only one OH group in it. Are you getting my point? So now I am going to tell you how they are attached with nitrogenous bases. Okay, so for this you have to understand it. Purines attach to pentose sugar in carbon 1. Carbon 1 is here. So here which group is present? Nitrogenous group will attach in it. Nitrogenous bases, either it's of purine or pyrimidine. Clear? Purine, pyrimidine always attach in carbon number 1. Okay, are you getting my point about it? First carbon pentose sugar and ninth position of purines. If you see the structure of purine, that time you can understand that this is the complete structure of DNA. So that time you can understand that whatever the thing I am telling you, this is the structure of pentose sugar. Okay, you can see here pentose sugar. You know, one strand is just opposite of the other. If it is having 5' to 3' end, so definitely it's this will having 5' to 3' strand. Okay, it's just opposite to each other. So that's why you can see these pentose sugar, if they are looking upward, so that time it's looking inverted side. It's upwarded and it's inverted side. Okay, so here you can see that pentose sugar first carbon, and it's of ninth position of purines. Purine ninth one. This is only attached with this area. Clear? And in this position one bond is present. This bond is known as the glycosidic bond. This bond is glycosidic bond. Okay, but the main character of DNA is it's having a special bond which is known as the phosphodiester bond. Phosphodiester bond is present here between the pentose sugar and phosphoric group. Okay, this bond is known as the phosphodiester bond. So here you can see that it's a fifth carbon. With the fifth carbon only, the phosphoric group is attached. What is the phosphoric group? The third part of DNA. One we have discussed about the pentose sugar. Second one is about the nitrogenous bases. Two type of nitrogenous bases I have told you, purines and pyrimidine. And the third one is of phosphoric group. If I am drawing the phosphoric group, this group, I can write it in this way: H3PO4. H3PO4. If I'll show it in this manner, then you can understand it very easily. It's of phosphoric group. Here one OH, here one OH, here one OH, and one oxygen is there. Okay, so you can understand 4 oxygen and 3 hydrogen. H3PO4. One hydroxyl group. Okay, one hydroxyl group, 5 carbon of pentose sugar. So they are attached with each other. So this structure, if you keep in your mind, you can easily understand it here. So you can see it here, the structure. This structure, just try to understand it. PO4, as I told you, H3PO4. So here only water molecule removed out, and by this only a bond is formed, and this bond is known as the phosphodiester bond, fifth carbon. So always remember this thing. This is attached with fifth carbon. If you remember, I have told you this carbon is a fifth carbon. This carbon. Okay, so it attached with fifth carbon atom. Or second thing is the bond name is phosphodiester bond. And about the nitrogenous bases, one bond here, they both are the nitrogenous bases. You can see AT, always adenine combined with thymine with double bond. thymine with double bond, and cytosine combined with guanine with triple hydrogen bond. Just keep this thing also in your mind. Adenine thymine के बीच में double bond होते हैं, double hydrogen bond, और cytosine and guanine के बीच में triple hydrogen bond होते हैं. Okay, and they are attached in this manner. So this is the complete structure of DNA. Okay, I hope that much is clear. If you have any query, any question regarding this, just you can send me your question. Thank you, children.